Thank you so much, Jessica. Folks, thank you for coming here today. My name is Sean Van Diver, ShawnVandiver. Van Diver's all one word, and I'm the president and founder of AfghanEvac. We're here today to speak about Mahmood Habibi, a proud American, a loving husband, and a father, and a man who has dedicated his life to serving both Afghanistan and the United States. This coming Sunday marks 3 years since the Taliban wrongfully detained Mahmoud. 3 years that his wife and young daughter have lived without him. 3 years that his family, friends, and community have been left waiting for answers that the Taliban refuses to give. Mahmoud earned his U.S. citizenship through the SIV program, the Special Immigrant Visa Program, after years of service to the U.S. mission in Afghanistan, including as a civil aviation expert for the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, at our embassy in Kabul. He was instrumental in establishing the civil aviation infrastructure that keeps Kabul's airport running and that keept the relocation flights going that AfghanEvac and the entire relocation ecosystem used. His work enabled the delivery of food, medicine, and hope to the Afghan people. Even after becoming a U.S. citizen and moving to New Jersey, Mahmoud continued his work to support the Afghan people. In 2019, he began a master's degree at Georgetown University and joined a U.S.-based telecommunications company operating Afghanistan's civil airport infrastructure, radar, and air traffic control systems. In July of 2022, the U.S. conducted a drone strike that killed al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri. At that time, Mahmoud was working in the UAE. Shortly after returning to Kabul, the Taliban falsely assumed that his company's cell tower cameras had been used to support the strike and that he had something to do with it. On August 10th, 2022, the Taliban GDI, General Directorate of Intelligence agents, arrested Mahmoud along with 30 of his colleagues. All but Mahmoud and one colleague were released. Multiple witnesses saw Mahmoud in GDI custody. Afghanistan's own Ministry of Communications has admitted that he was held by the GDI, yet the Taliban still denies knowing who he is. We are deeply grateful to Representative Zoe Lofgren, Senator Cory Booker, Senator Chris Coons, who have been steadfast in their leadership on this case. Rep. Lofgren introduced HRES 1066 last year, calling for Mahmoud's immediate release, condemning the Taliban's practice of hostage-taking, and urging the U.S. government to keep pressing his case at every opportunity. Senator Booker has been equally outspoken, reaffirming that the United States does not leave its citizens behind and calling on the administration to use all available tools to secure Mahmoud's release. Their joint commitment and their recent announcement just this week, yesterday, reintroducing a bicameral resolution, sends a clear message to the Taliban. Hostage diplomacy is not going to work. Look, Mahmoud's family has shown incredible courage and tenacity. His brother, Mahmood Habibi, has been using every available platform, including a series of powerful X posts, to keep Mahmoud in the public, his story in the public eye, to demand action, and to counter the Taliban's knowably false denials. Recently, Ahmad met with Dr. Seb Gorka, who has agreed to amplify his story through his national platforms as the CT advisor to President, as the counterterrorism advisor to President Trump. And he said that this is going to be a top priority in all things related to Afghanistan that the administration does. And for those who want to get in touch with Ahmad, you can shoot me an email and I'll connect you with the folks that work with him. And he would love to chat with you. So let's talk a little bit about U.S. government action. The U.S. State Department and the FBI have recently issued a $5 million rewards for justice offer for information that leads to Mahmoud's safe return. This is a clear sign that our government believes someone knows where he is, and that now is the time to speak up. To the Taliban, we know you have Mahmood Habibi. We know that you took him. Admit it, return him to his family. End this cruel and baseless detention. To the international community, any progress with the Taliban on trade, aid, or engagement must be contingent both on the release of all wrongfully detained Americans and progress on women and girls. And to everyone watching today, share Mahmoud's story. Share Ahmad's tweets. Keep the pressure on. Mahmoud is an American. He is our responsibility. and we will not stop until he's home. Now I'm going to show a pre-recorded video from Senator Chris Coons for all of you to enjoy, and then we will open it up for questions. Let me figure out how to do that the right way. All right, here we go.
I am U.S. Senator Chris Coons from Delaware. I want to thank Sean Van Diver and AfghanEvac for their tireless advocacy on behalf of the U.S. engagement with Afghanistan and on behalf of those who served alongside our troops. I'm here to mark 3 years since Mahmood Habibi, an American citizen, was taken and held by the Taliban. He served the United States and our mission in Afghanistan. In fact, he earned his American citizenship through the Special Immigrant Visa Program and continued to help the people of Afghanistan. Despite evidence to the contrary, the Taliban has repeatedly refused to admit they have him in their custody. We can't, we must not leave people behind, not those who've served alongside our men and women in uniform and not our own citizens. And Mahmood is both. So I'm proud to join Senator Cory Booker as a co-sponsor of his resolution in support of Mahmood's case, and I am keeping his wife and young daughter in my prayers and will continue working to secure his release from the Taliban.
That video and more pertinent information will be available in the. I'm going to drop it into the chat here. The pertinent facts, the press kit with pertinent facts. All of that will be there, and we have a quote from his brother that I'm going to share with you now. Ahmad Habibi, the brother of Mahmood Habibi and a resident of New Jersey, shared, "My brother is an innocent U.S. citizen who was arrested by the Taliban's GDI and has been kept for 3 years without being able to contact his wife and young daughter. The Taliban deny ever having heard of my brother, which is an obvious lie contradicted by extensive evidence in the hands of the United States government. They made a mistake, and now they need to make it right for the good of all the people of Afghanistan. I have been assured by very senior Trump administration officials that nothing will move forward in the U.S. relationship with Afghanistan until they've let my brother go." Look, folks, Mahmood Habibi is an SIV, a Special Immigrant Visa turned American citizen who stood with us and helped keep Afghanistan's skies safe. And for 3 long years, the Taliban have disappeared him. His wife and young daughter deserve more than silence. They deserve their husband and father back. I'm calling on the U.S. government to make Mahmoud's return an unambiguous priority and to use every diplomatic and economic tool at our disposal to end this hostage diplomacy. And with that, I'm happy to open it up to any questions.
Hi, I'll jump in.
Sure.
Maya Rodriguez with Scripps News. Hey, Sean. Quick question. Has anyone laid eyes on him in these 3 years? Has there been any contact with anyone who's seen him, who knows of his whereabouts? I mean, how sure can you be, frankly, that he's still alive?
Sure. Look, I'm so glad you asked that question. We have a duty to him and his family to fight like hell for his safe return until there is proof to the contrary. That isn't the question to ask, right? What's more important is, how can the Taliban say in an official statement that they've never heard of him or held him when there are numerous witnesses to his arrest, including from those held with him at GDI headquarters and interrogated about the company's role in the strike? The Taliban have no credibility, and it is important that the Trump administration hold them accountable for arresting Mahmoud and holding him. Any other questions?
Hi, this is Cam Kuvion. I'm also with Scripps News. Do you or does anyone have any idea where he might be being held? Like any clue at all?
Look, as you may know, our resources in Afghanistan aren't what they used to be, and rather, I don't want to share speculation. There's been some misinformation out there where some people were peddling bad information and then passing it off as good. So the best answer I can give you is that nobody knows. The Taliban knows where he's at. The Taliban knows what has happened to him, and we need them to be clear about this, right? If the United States government is going to continue a counterterrorism partnership with the Taliban, like has been widely reported, they need to prioritize this as an issue. All right, folks. If we have no other questions, we'll set you free. You have in the chat is a link to the press kit, and we are grateful for you covering this. And please send us, if you want to talk to Ahmad, by all means. In the press kit, there's a link to a bunch of his tweets where you can pull directly from that. There's the Chris Coons video and my remarks and more. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.